everyone, or possibly afternoon, or even night. There's always a good time for coffee. In this demonstration, I'm going to show you each how you can individually curate the perfect cup of coffee in your own home. How to make the perfect cup of coffee. Where do we even start? The first step to making an impeccable cup of joe is to decide what method you would like to use. Are you going to go for a Keurig, a French press, possibly attempting the cold brew method? Or maybe you only want to use the regular old coffee maker. It all depends on what you prefer and what you have available to you. Next is to carefully select your beans. Are you going to go for lush and fruity, bright and tangy, or possibly just the run-of-the-mill medium roast coffee? That is all up to you and your preference as well. This whole process is. After you decide on the beans, it's time to grind them up. This step just depends on what method you select. In step 1, there are different grinds for each method so the flavor of the coffee can be properly appreciated. Most of the times, if you buy your coffee from the store, it is going to be pre-ground for a paper filter, so you do want to watch that when you are selecting your coffee. Next, the final and most fun step is to decide how you're going to customize your coffee. Are you going to add some maybe flavored creamer, some milk, some sugar, or possibly even a flavored syrup? All up to you and your own preferences, as I said before. Now, it's time to get all organized, get all your materials together, and start the process. Let's make this cup of coffee. First step is to choose what method you would like to use to create your cup of coffee, and I'm choosing to use the French press. Though this is a more time-consuming method, I find that it gives my coffee a more full-bodied feel and a deeper flavor, so I find that it is worth my time. The second step is to carefully select what grounds you are going to use. I work at a coffee shop, so normally I would select an amazing, professionally roasted bean from our store, but since I'm currently spending the weekend at my parents' house, all I have to brew is some generic Maxwell brand coffee. Nothing against generic coffee, I just prefer my beans straight from the roastery. The third step is to grind your beans, but due to the fact that I am using already store-bought coffee, it is already ground to work with a paper filter. When using a French press, I would prefer to use a more coarse grind, but the paper filter will be alright for now. I may have some grounds left in the bottom of my coffee cup, but that's the risk I'm going to take. For now, I'm just going to take a big scoop of this coffee and put it in the bottom of my French press. Next, I am just going to add my pre-warmed water. It is very warm. And I am just going to fill it up. And then I'm going to attach the lid on just like that. And you don't want to push this down quite yet. And you're just going to leave it to brew for a little bit. I think I'm going to leave mine for maybe about 10 minutes. Now comes the fun part. I'm just going to push this down and twist it so that it is able to let the coffee out. It is a chilly fall day today, so I think I am just going to stick with a regular black cup of coffee. But sometimes I would choose to maybe add some flavoring or possibly just some almond milk. Spice it up however you would like. I hope you all learned a little bit something about coffee, or maybe even learned some new methods to try. I hope you find yourself only drinking the best homemade coffee after this. We all know those Starbucks and Carr runs get expensive. Even if you didn't learn anything new, I hope you enjoyed watching me make my morning cup of joe. Enjoy your perfect cup of coffee.